Statement from Coach Neighbors, and then we will take questions for Alexis.
March is here, really excited. I think for basketball junkies like us, it's the best time in the world. Conference tournament's starting, and we're looking forward to getting to Greenville. Glad we're going in with a little bit of momentum. Felt like we've been playing pretty good basketball, not necessarily winning them all, but still playing really good, and hopefully we'll be peaking at the right time like we did last year.
Lex, can you talk about being named first team All-SEC?
I mean, it's just a blessing. I mean, it's something that I worked for after the season last year, not playing the best that I could, getting in the gym this year, and not really necessarily worried about what I could get out of the conference or whatever. Just worried about helping my team win and what I can do to be successful for my teammates.
Coach, what have you seen different from Lex this year?
I don't think she's different. I think she's better adjusted, and I knew how to better coach her, better how to inspire her. She's motivated on herself. You got to inspire her. So, that's part of that learning process. And the unfortunate part about only getting to coach a kid for 2 years, it takes some time. So, but in her, when she says about getting back in the gym, she did put the work in. That was a clear piece of evidence. She was more visible. What she worked on was more game-like. She had a plan, and she executed it. And that's pretty rare. There's a lot of kids that talk about doing it, saying it's something that's important to them, and then there's really no evidence that it was important to them. They weren't in the gym. They didn't have a plan. When they were in the gym, it was sporadic and not game-like. That was way different than what she did and has done,
What about your team at this point in this juncture? I mean, this time a year ago, very different, having lost 8 of 9,
Yeah.
and a way different feeling.
Yeah.
But obviously made a lot of history, 22 wins, 10 SEC conference wins. How do you feel, both of you, going into this week?
A little apprehensive because I felt like last year we were still playing good, but we weren't winning. And we went to Greenville with a lot to prove. And I know that I have not done a really good job of keeping them insulated. I tell them like it is. We talk about it every day before practice, where we are, where we're going, and where we've been, update. And I think when you do that, sometimes we're in the NCAA tournament. We know we're in the NCAA. So we didn't know that last year. We were going down there with something to prove. And I'm not going to change that because I think in the long run that's the best way to be. But I am a little apprehensive about, do we go down there with that chip on our shoulder? But I've got some things up my sleeve for them. So we've got a chance to do some really cool things. I got to go back and check. I don't think a team's won a game 3 straight years in a row in the SEC tournament. I'll have to go back and double check that. I know I'm getting really obscure. Mario to his pocket. He's going to check. I made a little graphic, so maybe he can check that. But we're going to find some things. And I do think there is still something to play for. I think we could play ourselves up a line or two in the NCAA tournament, which after looking at the NCAA reveal yesterday, there's some significant changes when you move up a line. So there's going to be something for us to play with. But I am a little apprehensive because last year we went in having lost 8 of 9. This year we're going in off of a win. But I don't think this group's ever satisfied, and I don't think they judge themselves based on the results. So that apprehension's probably just in my head. I don't think they have it.
For Lexi and Mike too, just have you kind of fit your game. You had with Chelsea being so heralded and then Amber coming in, obviously offered TCU. As far as kind of meshing your game with theirs, how's that gone?
I mean, we all kind of play alike. We like to shoot 3. We like to drive. I mean, me and Chelsea, we played together last year. It was easy. She made it fun to be on the court. And adding Amber is even more fun because when we're all clicking, it's deadly. It's deadly on the court. I see it in practice a lot, and I'm just ready for a game to happen where all 3 of us are hitting, all 3 of us are on, and I'm just scared for our opponent when that does happen.
You could see it in the preseason. There were times we tried to keep them apart a lot. Like when we were dividing up teams, it was always Amber, Lex, Mac, IT. We divided them up a lot in the preseason. But I remember the first day we put them all together. It was against our guys' practice team. It was the first time we had them all on the floor to see how it was going to work. And I just remember making some eye contact with Chantel, Coach Todd, about we're going to be really hard to guard if we can get it right. You add the piece of IT and Mac together, and I combine those two kids into one player, probably too much. But the change in the way Mal played to the way these two kids played, you knew these guys were going to get more 1-2 step, catch it in the spot where they shoot at shots than ever before. So that day after we played our men's practice team, I got really, really excited about the way they would play together. This is a kid, when you talk about the question you asked, Nate, about the expectation coming in with those two kids, I think we always sensed that it was always going to be better for all three of them. More driving lane for Chelsea, more there's no help side when you do drive because Amber's standing over there in the corner, or Alexis standing in this corner, and Chelsea driving it from the top. So, and I know that these guys, the experience that she had and Chelsea had together to tell Amber was there's plenty of shots to go around. There's plenty because we don't turn it over and we play fast. I think if you look at it from a narrow view, everybody says, well, there's not going to be enough balls to go around. Well, on some teams that would be true if you only shot it 50 times a game. That would have been a true statement, but when you shoot it, the number of times we try to shoot it, there's still plenty of opportunities to score, plenty of opportunities to create for your teammates. And once that started clicking for the three together with the combination of Taylor, Kiera, and then Mac and IT, the shot distribution pretty much worked out pretty good. If you look down our end of the season stats, about like where you probably would have predicted it to start the year.
Alexis, just being from Conway, what does it mean to you just to bring Arkansas back to the NCAA tournament after that?
It's been a big deal to me to even play here. So, the run we had last year in the SEC tournament was big for us, and it just means a lot to be able to, go out like this with my senior year, making an NCAA appearance. And, of course, we're going to give it our all. We're not done yet. But being from Conway, being an Arkansas kid, that's a big deal to me. I haven't seen the Arkansas team really win or really compete in the SEC or in the NCAA tournament in a long time. And for me to be on the team that does it, that's a big deal.
I guess, Mike, any preference on Auburn and Vanderbilt? I guess Vanderbilt's come up a ways to be contenders.
Yeah, they're playing really good. No preference whatsoever. They both play a style that we kind of like to play in. They'll both run with us a little bit. The thing that we talked about and we used it to our advantage last year, there's always an advantage for the team that's played the day before in the first half, and then it's our advantage in the second half. So we use that 3 different times. So we know that's going to be used against us. So regardless of who we play, I can tell you this, we're going down to watch them play. We made a change in our flight. They've got our attention. A lot of people I think would have said, we'll just watch it on the plane or we'll watch it on. No, we're going to get up early. We're going to get on the plane. We're going to be sitting in the gym. If it helps us save, we'll divide the team up in half. Y'all watch Auburn. You watch Vandy. If that saves us a point, it could be the difference. So we're going to get them down there. We're going to get to experience the tournament. I think that's a huge part of it too. I think it'll be good practice for us because there's a good chance that we're going to get shipped someplace in the NCAA tournament, and you don't get the choice on when to leave. They tell you when you're leaving for that thing. So, just a good practice for us, but no preference. But I do know that it will be to their advantage in the first half, and we'll try to eliminate that with some things that we do in practice the next 2 days.
If you're able to get past the first one, it kind of sets up kind of like last year, A&M, South Carolina. I mean, just the run that you and the ability you have, like you said, to jump up with those chances to beat those kind of teams. Yeah, no, it's a draw that, you say good draw or bad draw. It is what it's going to be. I do like the A&M potential rematch. We played them really early in the SEC conference. I think we're better now than we were then. I'm sure Coach Blair will say the same thing, but that's the team we played the longest to go. So I'd really like to see where we are at. I think that's a team that, obviously from our game last year, we had a great matchup with them. That'd be a fun one to have if we can get past that first one. And then, to go through South Carolina, that gives you an opportunity to play the number 1 team in the country, a number 1 team overall, I think, as they were revealed last night. So gives you an opportunity to move up a couple of lines.
And we all know what happens when you get down there and you get hot. It just becomes contagious and infectious, and it's on autopilot. So, I don't know if we can capture that 2 years in a row, but I can guarantee you that we're gonna try. Remember the question?
No, not really. Can you repeat the question?
If you're able to get past game one, how it kind of mirrors what happened last year, the road that you would have to take.
Yeah, as he said, I'm excited about if we do get past game one, excited about the rematch with Texas A&M. It was a close game here, and it was the first game of the SEC conference, if I remember. And that'll be a big step up if we get that game under our belt, and then potentially playing South Carolina for the third time this season. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. That's the biggest thing I learned throughout my whole career. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times. And so I hope that like we did last year, we get down there, get contagious, and have a run.
Mike, any reaction to getting back into the top 25? Is that something you can use in recruiting and so forth?
Yeah, it's always fun to if they're going to have rankings, let's be in it. It was a crazy last 2 weeks of the poll. If you've ever, I voted in that thing for about 5 years, and there's a certain amount of I use the word inertia. That's my science teaching days. I'll explain that to you later. It just kind of generates itself. So you look at that last 2 weeks. Everybody that was receiving votes lost. And the people that were like the next tier lost too. So it's, okay, who are you going to put in? And when Florida Gulf Coast lost and TCU lost twice, there was a chance that with a win over a good LSU team, even though we did have a loss against a good Mississippi State team, we could jump back in there. So, Grant, I think the history of it is if you stay in that thing, there's never been a top 25 team left out of the NCAA tournament. It's really the only value that carries, but I do think it's we're gonna tell everybody all in recruiting we were ranked X number of weeks this year anyway. I would anticipate with the people we have coming back, we'll be a preseason pick next year, and that does help in recruiting, just so that anybody you're talking to doesn't have that piece of ammunition to use against you. So I'm glad we popped back in it. I don't know. The coaches poll comes out today. I suspect we probably won't in that one, but we'll see. Crazy things happen when coaches get to voting. Michaela Daniels gets left off the freshman team. I got that in? Is that out?
It's not 11, so technically.
Technically, we're not talking about. Technically, this isn't going. You don't know about it till 11. No. What time is it? Can we kill a little time here? We got to kill 21 minutes, or 19 minutes, sorry. No, I don't suspect we'll jump back in the top 25 coaches, but we might.
Anybody else? Okay.